Yes, good evening, everyone. Please subscribe for our RTL online training and placement YouTube channel. This is our first class for Fusion Supply Chain Management. So, whenever we are going to learn Fusion Supply Chain Management, first thing what we have to do is we have to learn FSM, Functional Setup Manager. What is FSM? That we have to learn. It's very simple, not much time it will take. Then we have to learn security console. Then we have to learn enterprise structure setup. After that, as we discussed, we are going to talk about three modules: inventory, procurement, order management. We'll start with inventory module. We'll be starting with our inventory module. Then we'll go to procurement. Then we'll come back to order management. Okay. So the first we are going to talk about is FSM. What is FSM? FSM is nothing but functional setup manager. It's admin environment. Whenever we are doing the setups for our client in Fusion applications, then we will be using the FSM environment. We will be using the FSM environment. Before we enter into this, first we'll discuss how the project comes to our clients and how these projects will be started. That we'll discuss. Okay. So let's say there is a client called Birla Sun Life Insurance, or we'll take up that something like MRF Corporation. So what is this client's business? They will be manufacturing the goods and supply those goods to customers, buy the raw materials from the suppliers, and they will be making the payments to suppliers, collect the amounts from the customers. So all these business transactions they wanted to maintain in a single ERP product, cloud ERP. As I said, there are multiple ERP products in the market. SAP is there, Salesforce we have Oracle EBS, we have Oracle Fusion Cloud ERP, which is latest one we have, and we have Workday, we have Microsoft Dynamics, and we have other ERP products like small. You might find some old ERPs, PeopleSoft, NetSuite. There might be some other ERP products, but client is interested to go ahead with the Oracle Fusion Cloud ERP. They decided to go with Fusion Cloud ERP. Now they want to use this ERP software to maintain their complete business transactions like procurement, sales, inventory, all the business transactions they wanted to maintain in this particular software. Okay, so they decided to go ahead with this ERP product. Then what client will do is he is going to buy the license from Oracle Corporation, because Oracle Corporation has developed this product, right? Oracle Corporation has developed, this company has developed this product. So obviously, if you want to use this product, you are supposed to get the license or subscription from this company. From this company, you are supposed to get the subscription. So client will buy this subscription. If it is on premises, we call it as a license. And if it is cloud, we call it as subscription. So now the client has decided to buy the product from this client, from this Oracle Corporation. So when client buy this software, there will be empty. There won't be any setups. It is a empty software. Oracle Corporation will give the software. You are supposed to upload your customers' data. You are supposed to upload your suppliers' data, your employees' data, invoice data, and you are supposed to do all your setups according to your business process requirement, because every company will follow some standard procedure. For example, you want to open a bank account in ICICI Bank, there is a procedure. If you want to open the bank account in Axis Bank, there is a procedure. Okay. Axis Bank will have their own application form and format and terms and conditions. And ICICI Bank also has got their own format, terms and conditions. Depends on the customer, there will be a different account opening facilities or plans. If you are working employee, zero balance. If you are not working, minimum 10,000. Like that, there will be a different types of business terms and conditions, right? So that's what the project actually. So that's what the project. So MRF Corporation, whenever they buy this particular software from Oracle Corporation, whenever they subscribe to this cloud ERP, it is empty application. That's what we call it as a fresh instance. That's what we call it as a fresh instance. Everything your client is supposed to do the practical setups. So to complete those setups, MRF Corporation cannot do it because their business is a manufacturing business. They are not having any IT company. They are not having any IT employees. So what they do is doing the setups, making the product, customization, development, building the reports, analysis, data migrations. This all work, we call it as a cloud project. So they will give this project either to Oracle Corporation or they can give it to a lot of other companies are there. TCS is there, Tech Mahindra is there, we have Infosys, we have Deloitte. In fact, we have Oracle also. Oracle also will do that. Oracle India Private Limited. And we have Accenture, we have IBM, we have CTS, we have Capgemini, like this. Thousands of companies are there. These all companies are Oracle partners. These all are Oracle partners. Oracle partners. What they do, whenever any client buy the Oracle products, they'll be helping them to implement and to provide the service like this. You might have seen, for example, you buy a Mahindra car. If you want to go for servicing, there will be a number of servicing centers, right? You don't need to go to showroom. Same way here also, once client subscribe for this product, if they want to implement this product, implement means doing the setups and all. If they want to use this application, they can go for either Oracle Corporation or they can look for some other company. For example, the client has given the project for Infosys. Client somewhat is impressed with Infosys quotation, quality, and the history of the Infosys earlier. Then the client has decided to go for Infosys. What Infosys will do is, they have to complete this project. Application is there, but that application is empty, fresh instance. All the setups, Infosys must do it. All the data migration, data extraction, personalization, customization, enhancements, developments, all these things Infosys is supposed to do it. Then what Infosys company will do? They will hire the consultants, right? You are supposed to hire the professionals. To complete cloud ERP, as I said, there will be two consultants majorly. One is functional consultant, another one is technical consultant. Functional consultant, another one is a technical consultant. So functional consultant is going to do the functional setups and configurations testing, and technical consultant is going to build the technical components like reports, data migration, data extraction, analysis, setups, and security and roles. So how many positions we will find? 2 different positions. Depends on the number of modules your client has subscribed, they will hire the number of consultants. Roles are only 2, functional role or technical role. But number of people might be more. There might be 10 functional people requirement and 5 technical consultants may be required for the project, right? Okay. So here depends on the number of module, as I said. Okay. So these are the 2 different types of roles we will find in the project. We'll find 2 different types of roles in the project here. One is functional consultant and other one is technical consultant. This particular course, which we are conducting, is supply chain management functional course. People who are interested to write the coding, they can go to technical part. You must be clear with SQL and PLSQL. If you are interested coding, then you can choose the technical. If you are not able to write a coding, I cannot write a coding, then you can go for functional consultant position. So this is completely zero coding. There is no question of coding in this particular course, supply chain management. Okay. So how many modules we are going to implement? Maybe your client has subscribed for financials, human capital management, supply chain management also. But we're going to learn supply chain management, right? That. Okay. So whenever we are working in the project, if you want to know how many modules your client has subscribed, how we have to find out? Just log into the applications, go to setup and maintenance. This is just you have to enter the URL, username and password. Let me just log out and log in so that you can easily understand. So you have to go for the credentials, whatever you have received. Once you receive the credentials, go to navigator, go to user menu, setup and maintenance. Setup and maintenance. This is an environment. 90% our work will be in the real time in this environment only. 90%. Most of the times we'll be spending here only. Okay. So now I want to know what are the offerings our client has subscribed. Offering in the sense domains. Go to actions, go to offerings. For example, you joined in the company and your project manager has invited you into the project. And instead of asking your manager or colleague, what are the modules are subscribed or enabled or implementing, you can easily find out from here. If I select financials, if I select financial domain, here you will come to know your client is subscribed or not. Then where is supply chain management? I could not find that name. Where is that? And what are the modules comes under supply chain management? In supply chain management, we can find first procurement module, product management module, supply chain material management module, order management module. When you combine all these 4, we will call it as supply chain management. This is for material management, this is for procurement, and this is product management, nothing but managing the items information. Every company will be purchasing the items, assemble the items, manufacture the items, selling these items to customers, right? Those all information they wanted to maintain. That is what we call it as product management. Then order management is nothing but a sales. If you combine all these modules, then it's going to be supply chain management. There is an advanced also, ASCM, advanced supply chain management and manufacturing, that anyway not required, because that is once you enter into the application, work for a couple of years. Once you work for a couple of years in the product, then you can go for ASM and go for manufacturing. Okay. So this is all about the supply chain management. Maybe your client can enroll only for product management, or your client can be enrolled only for procurement. It's not mandatory that the client has to buy all these modules. It's up to the client requirement. There is a facility for the client. For example, the client is already having some software. In that software, they have very good inventory and they have very good sales application. They don't want to disturb existing system and they want to use this procurement. So they can go for integrate. They can go for integrate this inventory with the procurement and order management with inventory and as well as the procurement. Okay, so it depends on the requirement. Client is going to subscribe to the modules, and depends on the number of modules implementation, the project duration will be there. Most of the clients, whenever they go for cloud projects, a minimum 6 months to 1 year. The project duration will be implementation time. If everything goes fine, time to time, requirement gathering, workshop conduction, document preparation, document approval, setups, document development, testing, production, and UAT. This all, once it is done, then it will take 6 months to 1 year. After that, support is required. Definitely, for example, 10 consultants has implemented the product, and after that, at least 2 to 3 consultants are supposed to give the support for the client. Otherwise, it's difficult to use the application and run the application, right? So that's why the project continuation will be there. But after successful implementation, the team size will be decreased around 50%. Around 50%, maybe they can go for decrease the team size. And again, another project allocation. That's a continuation process. Okay. So this is how the project comes, how the client will decide, how they will choose, and how our recruitment will be started. So before learning the financial module or supply chain module, any module, you learn finance. Just 1 minute. Whether you learn financials, whether you learn supply chain management or human capital management or CRM or GRC, anything, basic fundamentals we have to learn first in vision applications. That is common for all. That is common for all. What are those basic things? 2 modules. One is FSM, Functional Setup Manager. Another one is Security Console. These 2 we have to learn. This is mandatory. And these 2 are common for any domain. Whether you are going to learn financials and you are going to apply as a Oracle Fusion Finance consultant, still you have to learn these 2 first. Even though you are a technical consultant also, you are supposed to learn these 2 things. So whenever we are going to start learning the Fusion applications, irrespective of the domains, first you have to learn these 2 modules. What we call these 2 modules? FSM and Security Console. Functional Setup Manager, and we are going to have the Security Console. First, we'll start working with FSM, and then we'll talk about the Security Console. We'll talk about the Security Console. That we'll discuss in our next session. Okay. Any doubts here at this point of time? Anybody is having doubts? Please. As I said, this is a placement batch. I request everyone, please ask any small doubt. Please ask me. I will treat everybody as a fresher. I'm not going to treat you are having some experience or some ERP background. I'm going to treat everybody as a fresher. I request, even if there is a small doubt, please ask me. And I request everyone, please communicate only in English, which will improve our communication and we will get success in our journey. Please. Any doubts so far, whatever we have discussed? Yes, Rashek, ready? Go ahead. Okay, user creation you are asking. Yes, user creation comes under security console. We are going to discuss in our next session. In the next session, we'll discuss first security console, user creation, and we'll create our own username and password. Then we'll come to next session, FSM, functional setup manage. Okay. Thank you.